This is part 135 of ASP.NET tutorial. In this video, we'll discuss displaying images in sequence in the image slideshow that we have created in part 134. Please watch part 134 before proceeding. We'll be working with the same example that we started in part 134. At the moment, the problem with the slideshow that we have created in part 134 is that the images are not being displayed in sequence. They're being displayed at random. But now our requirement is such that we want to display them in sequence. That is, first we want to display 1.jpg, next 2.jpg, so on and so forth until 8.jpg. Once we reach 8.jpg, we want to start again at 1.jpg, and then we should continue until 8.jpg. And at the same time, we also want to display the image number that's being displayed below the image, as you can see here. Okay, so first of all, notice the state of the application. It's displaying an image, but we don't know whether if it's displaying these images at random or in sequence. To prove that these images are being displayed at random, let's display the image number. And to achieve that, I'm going to include an HTML break here, and then drag and drop an image control, label control. Get rid of this text property, and then within the code behind file, so this variable I is going to contain the number of the image that is being displayed. So within our label1 control, so label1.text is equal to, maybe we can have a text stating displaying image, whatever is the image that is being displayed, which is stored in this variable I. So convert that to string. Let's run this application. So now we should have the number of the image. Notice that we're displaying image 6, 4, 3, 1. So obviously the images are for sure being displayed at random. So let's fix that. So we want the images to be displayed in sequence. Okay, now to display the images in sequence, first of all we need to remember the image that was displayed the previous time. And on a post back, we know that web forms work on a stateless protocol. So if you have to remember state, there are several techniques. We are going to make use of view state to remember the state across a post back. Okay, if you're new to view state variables, we have discussed in a very great detail about view state variables in the initial sessions of this video series, so please check that video. Okay, so we're going to make use of view state variables. So if view state of, let's say, I'm going to use a key called image displayed. So if that is null, so if there is nothing within this variable, within this view state variable image displayed, then we know we haven't displayed anything as of yet. So we want to start at image 1. So what I'm going to do here is set the image URL property to /images/1.jpg. So we want to display the first image. And then the important thing that we have to do now is to store that image number within this view state variable. And then obviously we need to set the image text, the image that we are displaying. In this case we can hard code it, displaying image 1. Else, so we'll get to this else part only if there is something in this view state variable. So first time when we land on this web form, there will be nothing in this view state variable, in which case we are displaying image 1, and within that view state variable we are storing this value of 1. But then when the timer control posts this web form back again after 1 second, this view state, this condition will be false because there is a value of 1. So it will come to the else part, in which case we want to pull that value out of the view state variable. Okay, so let's pull it and then store it in this variable I. So view state of image displayed. But then it's going to return that variable, the value stored in that variable as an object, but we need to typecast it to be of type integer. So let's go ahead and do that. So now I value will be 1. So we have displayed 1.jpg the previous time. We want to display 2.jpg now. So we need to increase the value of I by 1. So I is equal to I plus 1. And then we need to set the image URL to ~images/. Now we can't hard code the number because every time we need to compute the image that we want to display dynamically. So we are going to use this variable I for that purpose. Okay, so I will have a value of 2 the second time, so convert that to string, and then the extension of the image, which is .jpg. Okay, and the next thing is to actually store the value of I back into the view state variable. So let's copy that, and view state of image displayed. Again, we can't hard code the value, instead we use that variable I. And then let's display the number of the image that is being displayed in label 1. Okay, so with all these changes, let's go ahead and run this. So the first time when the web form loads, it should display image 1, and then it should start incrementing it. So displaying image 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's incrementing it. But notice that you'll have a problem when it reaches 8. So it's going beyond 8. But do we have image 9, 10, 11, 12 within our application? And it's not going to stop. It's just going to continue. Okay, but we don't have images beyond number 8. So somehow we need to start that stop that loop at 8. So how can we do that? Let's close this. So once we retrieve the value out of view state, if the value of I is 8, what we need to do at that point, we need to reset, we need to restart at 1, and this code can help us do that. So I'm going to copy whatever we have in that if block, I'm going to paste it there. So what we are doing, if I is equal to 8, then we know that we have reached until displaying image 8. In that case, start at 1.jpg and store a value of 1 in that view state variable, and then say we are displaying image 1 in that label. Okay, if it is not 8, then go to the else part. Okay, so obviously if it is 8, it will come here, it will store a value of 1 in that view state. So it's going to the web form will be posted by the timer control automatically, and then it comes here, it checks, okay, is there something in the view state? Obviously there will be something in the view state, and then it's going to come to the else part. Okay, and then obviously, so it comes and retrieves the value out of the view state. It will be 1 there. So is I is equal to 8? No. So it's going to come to else part, it will increment that by 1. Now I value is 2, we're going to display image 2. So now this should work as expected. So it will continue all the way until 8, and then it starts again at 1 because we have that check there. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it should come back to 1. Okay, so this will be in this cycle. Alright, now at the moment there's no mechanism in place to start or stop the slideshow. So if you look at the slideshow, the end user can't stop it if he wants to, because keep in mind this is posting back every time it has to change the image. Now let's say for some reason the end user wants to stop the slideshow. Okay, so we don't have that mechanism in place at the moment, but we'll see how to include that in our next video session. On this slide you can find resources for ASP.NET C#, and SQL Server interview questions. That's it for today. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.